Some breaking news for you right now. New York City officials have confirmed an explosion near Times Square, right near Port Authority at the corner of 8th Avenue and 42nd Street. We're showing you live images of this right now. The NYPD tweeting that the A, C, and E subway lines are being evacuated at this time. They say info is preliminary. They will update all of this when more is available. We have reporters on the way to the scene right now. We should, of course, tell you ambulances have been requested and are en route along with police. You're seeing those images right now. We want to bring in Jeff Lanza, former FBI agent, always early at this point to circumscribe what exactly has happened here. But your first thought about these things, sadly, is oftentimes terrorism. Jeff?
Yeah, that would be the first conclusion that you might make. But a lot of investigation, of course, has to be done. The first thing that first responders do in a case like this is to give aid to the people that might be injured and try to clear the area to make sure there's no other explosive devices, or it may be an ambush situation. They have to make sure that they're safe as well going into wherever the explosion occurred. So that's the first thing. Help the wounded. Make sure there's no other danger, and then conduct the investigation and see what caused the explosion, who may be claiming responsibility for it. Big piece of the puzzle is going to be any kind of video cameras that there at the scene that may be used for the surveillance video that may be able to determine who was there, who may be behind whatever exploded.
Jeff, help us understand this at this moment. Clearly, everybody's rushing to this particular scene. But if you're inside the NYPD and the FBI, are you looking at other locations in New York City on a morning like this?
Well, absolutely. I mean, just because there may be other, you really would have to look at the threats and see if there's someone who's responsible for this. Number one, if they're a threat, to put it in other places. I mean, absolutely. I mean, just because there's you got one site doesn't mean there might be other sites as well. But the key is you really have to immediately get the surveillance video, immediately talk to witnesses, and try to see who might be responsible for it. And then you can look and see if there's other places that may have also placed explosive devices.
Jeff, we obviously don't know what has happened at this hour just yet, but there are hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million people on their way to work this morning inside New York City. If you were leaving your home right now, would you be?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you can't. But New York's a big city, and I mean, you can't just stop the whole machinery of New York City because of this event, unless there's some sort of evidence or some sort of information that there might be additional devices. I mean, what are you going to do? You got to get to the heart of the investigation, and that's what authorities are trying to do right now. But you can't stop New York City.
At the same time, Jeff, we are hearing already that a subway line is closed, the ACE train. That's a very difficult thing to do in a place like New York City, where, as Andrew had mentioned, a lot of commuters are on their way to work or in mid-commute at this point. What do you anticipate will unfold over the next half hour or so in New York as we try and get a handle on, A, what's going on, and B, how to protect other incidents that may be in the works right now from happening?
Yeah, well, the police have to determine, along with the FBI, other agencies that may be involved, if this is an isolated incident or if there's additional threats. And if that's the case, they have to figure out what needs to be closed. But we can't jump to those conclusions yet and shut down anything unless there's some kind of evidence that there might be additional devices planted. So we can't go there yet. But we do have to determine who was involved in it. They could pull those surveillance videos pretty quick. They could probably figure something out and determine if there's additional threats around the city. Short of that, they're not going to be closing additional subways unless there's some kind of evidence that there might be threats in those areas.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.